Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we need to go through, we need to talk about this set because, to be honest, a little bit of a slip up on my part. I missed it a couple weeks ago when I was away for a week while news was still coming in and I wasn't able to make a video. A new set got announced for the OCG that I didn't necessarily see and notice. I noticed the new official cards from other stuff, but I missed this one. So I got to go back. We got to run through this because I think this is a really, really interesting discussion video to have. If you did not hear, Konami announced a new set called Terminal World. This is going to be it's going to be a reprint set for a lot of dual terminal cards that probably just haven't been reprinted in a long time. But even bigger news, in my opinion, is it's going to contribute also a couple of alternate artworks for cards for some of these themes, as well as brand new cards for these themes as well. So what we have confirmed so far is that there are 4 dual terminal themes in this set. All of them, I'm assuming this means all of them are getting at least one alternate art and maybe some other stuff, and at least one brand new card. That really has a wide range. I don't know if that's 1 card per archetype new-wise. I don't know if that's going to be 3 to 5 new cards for each archetype. I mean, it's a 146 card set. I have a hard time believing there's only 4 new cards in this entire set and everything else is just reprints. That doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. So I'm hoping there's actually a couple cards for each archetype and they're somewhat decent. But anyway, the actual crux of this video is a tier list, sort of. We're sorting, we're going through all of the dual terminal archetypes. By the way, I didn't even mention this either because I kind of want to hold it off to the thing. But the only 2 archetypes that are actually already confirmed, Ice Barrier and Infernoid. So unfortunately, there's only 2 other slots left for the other dual terminal archetypes, and there's like 25 of them. So we'll see what ends up there, but we can go ahead and start our tier list with that first category by go ahead and throwing Infernoids, and the other one was Ice Barrier. So these 2 are already confirmed. They are in, good for them. I'm actually excited for Infernoid because they are a really unique, cool archetype that has been playable in the last couple years. But I do think with the Snake Eye stuff, it's already going to help them a lot and really propel them forward. Yassine made a really cool video about it, showing off a really cool build. I'm actually really interested in that. Ice Bears, though, lagging behind pretty hard. I mean, listen, they have got a handful, they have got a good amount of support. They have some playable cards. If this wave of support is 4 to 5 brand new cards, maybe Ice Barrier finally gets to there if they really capitalize on that, but it really needs to be pushed. So I'm a little bit less excited about that one. So let's get into the rest of the tier list. So for the rest of the tiers, I have a top tier choice, Konami. Wink, wink. These are the ones that I really would like to see the most. I think it would be the coolest ones there. The next one down is Probably Needs It. It's a one that would be a good choice. It's an archetype that probably needs the help, but it wouldn't be one of my personal choices. Just got stuff, good or bad. Not sure. You know, these are archetypes that within the last year or 2 have already gotten support, so I think that probably lowers their chances of being in here. But you could also say that about Ice Barrier. They got support not that long ago and have gotten like a whole structure deck and outside support elsewhere, and still they're already in here. So I don't know if it's good or bad that they just got our support, but I'm not going to rule them out entirely, but I do think it's possible they don't get in because of that. And the last one is archetypes that are so bad that it's like it's not even even if Konami's going to give them 4 or 5 new cards, these are archetypes that have like nothing really like as a base for their archetype. It's not even worth sending it. So don't worry about that. But let's get into it. Let's start off here. I'm going to start with Miss Valley. I'm going to put Miss Valley in so bad, don't even try. If you really go through their cards, they don't even have like any starter cards or actual things, I don't believe. Nothing great. They have stuff like interesting stuff like Apex Avian, and when this card was played in like the Tri-Brigade list as like a loop for an infinite negate, that was cool. I mean, it's super degenerate, but I guess it does something powerful. Other than that, they don't have enough powerful cards. They would probably need too big of a wave. I don't even want to see Konami to like try and make Mist Valley work. Dragoonity, I want to put Dragoonity here. Like they could probably use it. I mean, actually, you know what? I guess I'm kind of like missing a tier, but I'll put them here because I don't have a tier for it. I wouldn't put them in top tier. I know a lot of people would like to see this, but we're already talking about like, do we need to hit Dragon Link on the ban list? And Romulus is already a card that like sees play in Dragon Link lists at times, so I don't think we need to push Dragon decks any further than they already are. I think Dragoonity's fine where it's at for right now. Gem Knights, they actually got support not that long ago. I think they actually got it in a core set last year, so I'll put him here. the problem with this archetype is like it doesn't feel like it's ever really done much aside from just be an FTK deck or a Brilliant Fusion. Like other than that, we haven't really seen much of this archetype. I don't really want to see it. Lavals. I think Lavals are a really cool one. They actually have a couple of interesting cards. Not great. They would need a pretty decent support. I'll put them in probably needs it because I don't think they're close enough that if the wave of support that comes out here is 2-3 new cards, I don't think Lavals are close enough for 2 to 3 cards to do enough to even make them spicy, but I do think it's one of those things where they're a fire archetype. This is the year of fire. Konami's been popping off with fire support, so that does make them a little more interesting to me. Vylons, I probably have to put them in so bad, don't even try. I think what they would have to do to make this a full-on good strategy would have to be a lot, so I think they leave it. Gishki got support last year. Gishki Sprite was actually a playable variant. I'm going to leave them down here in that they just got stuff, so I don't think that necessarily propels them super high. Gusto, I could see Gusto up here. Gusto's one of those weird archetypes, though, where a lot of their cards miss timing. They have, like, weird cards where all of them, the way they're worded, is, like, old style. So they miss timing in a lot of scenarios, I believe, and that makes them a lot more awkward to try and build for. I think they're cool, though. I like the design of their archetype. I wouldn't put them in top tier, but I wouldn't be mad if they ended up in there. Steel Swarm, so bad, don't even try it. Evil Swarm would be cool. We haven't gotten Evil Swarm support in so long. They've a really powerful boss monster. They actually have a Link 2 that's actually pretty good, but their archetype was never able to really facilitate it that well. So even with like 2 or 3 cards, if Konami made them like really good engine cards, I mean, we've seen them make the Circulars, the Exosister Malphas of the world. Like if they made a Unchained Shavara, new best deck in the game, if they gave them like an engine piece like that and they can facilitate the Link 2 and their rank 4s better, maybe give them one more new rank 4, like maybe Evil Swarm becomes something interesting. Really cool strategy for sure. Constellar, I'm a little bit less hype on Constellar. I know a lot of people like them, but they're just the poor man's Teller Knights to me. So they're fine. If they gave them support that also ended up supporting Teller Knights anyway. Oh, actually, we could put them down here because technically the new Teller Knight cards count as Constellar cards, so they support both anyway. So I'd actually put it down here, but even so, I think they're less desirable than Teller Knights. Yang Zings. We haven't gotten any Yang Zings in a while. I like that personally because, well, we just got maybe I actually could see that happening because Denglong just came off the ban list not too long ago, so to kind of pair it with that. Sword Soul's kind of fallen out of favor competitively. It's just kind of feels like it's been power crept. So if they kind of gave them another couple tools to play with, I think that could be cool. Yeah, you know what? We'll put Yang Zings up here. I think there's a world where they make that cool. Plus, I'm personally a big Zephyr fan, and Zephyrs already have really cool synergy with Yang Zings. So spicy. Flamebells. They go right here next to Lavals. They're fire based, so I think that gives them a chance to end up in here, but man, they're still pretty rough and they would need some good stuff. Shaddolls. Shaddolls are scary, right? Because even though they haven't really been a part of like the top tier meta in a while, I think we can all look at them and recognize they're still not that far away. They still have a handful of really powerful cards. Winda's still great. Their fusion spells are still great. Construct is awesome, and a lot of their main deck monsters give a lot of really good utility. So if they got the right cards, they could be a problem all over again. So I'm actually more scared of Shaddolls. So I would put them in like probably needs it to be like competitive on like truly competitive again. But I would be fearful of this one. I wouldn't personally hope for this one. Now, this one I would personally hope for Teller Knights because, honestly, the Teller Knight support came out, and the only reason they were even, like, a little bit competitive in the OCG is because it was tier limit, tier 0 format, and they have their boss monster that has, like, multiple negates for a dark monster. So, like, that was the leg up they had for that matchup. But other than that, they have done nothing. And I think their support cards weren't bad. It just wasn't enough. They are on the precipice, though. I think anybody can look at that deck and be like, oh, they're so close, though. If they got 1 or 2 more cards. And that's why I think if it wasn't just got stuff, which I think pigeonholes them into this category by default, I would actually put them up here. Because it's an archetype that I think a lot of people would be happy if they were good, because I don't think they do anything like super degenerate. But if they just got their just enough to get just to make their engine just a little bit more consistent, a little bit better at playing through interaction. That's all they need. It's just that little slight push. They have all the extra deck monsters they need. They just need like 1 or 2 more main deck, consistency / extender cards to really help out there. Ritual Beasts. I think this one may be number 1 for me. I understand, and listen, I'm not even like a combo player, and I know Ritual Beasts like combo into a control setup. They don't combo into like an unbreakable board. They combo into getting a bunch of resources, having the ability to grind while getting like a couple of interruptions. I think they're one of those archetypes where I'm like, I've always liked their design. I've always thought they were cool. Can Konami give them the main deck support they need? Maybe even extra deck boss monster that like pushes some of the ones they already have, because the ones they have don't really do a ton. I think that'd be really cool for sure. I think Ritual Beast is higher up there for me. Nekroz. I kind of put Nekroz with Shaddoll, probably to a lesser degree. I'm a little bit less fearful, but we have a lot of ritual support tools. I am just kind of scared of like what Nekroz can't facilitate, especially since they already kind of have floodgates in their archetype as is. I think they're one of the more cooler ritual archetypes being said, so I'm not like totally opposed to it, but I'm a little bit fearful. Plus they also got this guy not that long ago either, so they could maybe arguably go down here. I'll leave him up here for now because I think that was probably a little bit far enough away that it's not really a problem. Cleaforts definitely probably need it. I really don't want to necessarily see them get it because I'm not a huge fan of Clearforts. Just them being a towers deck in their heyday doesn't really make me want to support them too much. But yeah, we'll put them in here just because. Zephyra's 100% top tier for me. I think they could give them their own Link 2 that like really, really helps push, like it's like really focused on like supporting Zephyra like lines and decks, make you want to actually build decks with more Zephyr cards because you need a Zephyr monster on the field to make the pendulum monster, like their Link monster or something. Like a new really good Link monster for them would be really, really cool. Maybe another main deck monster that's just like a second Zephrath for consistency would be also really, really crazy and really cool. But yeah, just keeping an eye on it. I love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks of all time. I've had some of the most fun playing pure Zephyr, like a control pendulum deck. It was really good a while ago. It's probably a little bit too slow right now. It needs a little bit of help, and that's kind of what I would look for here. Something like that, but we'll see. From there, we've got X-Sabers. I would put X-Seers in top tier. There's an argument they could be down here and so bad, don't even try. I mean, if Konami's only going to give them 1 or 2 cards, they definitely can't fix them. So you know what, maybe I'll move them to the very top of probably needs it, because like I really want X-Sabers to get support, but at this point, it almost does feel like X-Sabers may just need a structure deck. You know what I mean? 8 brand new cards to kind of push them back up into playable again. But also we thought Naturia had no cards, and then they got like a 3-card engine that like fully made them like playable again. So just kind of depends. We'll see, but yeah, cool. Ally of Justice goes down here, and so bad, don't even try. They're like not even a coherent strategy. Don't even worry about it. I would put Worms in the same category. They just don't have enough cards that actually like push the engine enough. I think maybe Worms could be up here because I don't think they're that much worse than like Flambells and stuff. Our Gen X, I'll put them here just for the sole fact that like there are 1 card Link 2 plays in the deck already at the very least. Like that's better than like most of the stuff down in Don't Even Try. Like there are multiple cards that like summon another Gen X from the deck. So if they made the right ones, like there could be something there, but man, it's a jumbled mess. There's so many Gen X monsters and so many of them do nothing at all. Naturia's got to be in Just Got Stuff, and plus they also got hit on the ban list recently, so I think there's almost a 0% chance they're in there. Fabled, Fabled got support. I think Fabled got support early last year, so like a year and a half ago-ish, I think is about the timeline we're looking at here, so that could arguably go down here, but they haven't done anything, so I do think there is a world where Konami does go ahead and throw Fabled in there. We'll see, though. We'll leave them there for now. And then Jurax. Jurax is so bad, don't even try. I would love it if Konami went back and did it, because, like, how many actual dinosaur archetypes do we have in the game? There's so few, and Jurax do, like, nothing. None of their monsters actually do anything for, like, 2023 standards, so it's probably just so bad, don't even try. But yeah, Best case scenario for me is the 2 other archetypes come from these 4. That would be incredible. I don't think there's any way they pick like Yang Zings and Zephyrs because they like have synergy together. If anything, I could see them picking one, and because they actually have synergy, like there are Zephyr monsters that have Yang Zing in the name, so they actually like have crossover synergy. I could see a world where they pick one and it ends up being more monsters like with Yang Zing in the name, so it ends up supporting both kinda by default. You could argue the same thing for like Steel Swarm and Evil Swarm and stuff, but I think this one, they wouldn't pick both of these. But either I would be happy with, as long as like if they picked a Yang Zing one that like helped Zephyr in some way, that would be crazy. Like what if it was a normal summon and it had Yang Zing in the name? Because Yang Zings don't really have any normal summons. Like normal summons, it like summons a Yang Zing from the deck. That could be a 1-card link too, and if like, I don't know. It's something. I'm spitballing. I'm just throwing out ideas. Like that would be a starter with a Yang Zing in the name and maybe Zephyr in the name, like something. This one I think is cool. And then yeah, one of these 2. If I could be perfect world, Ritual Beasts and Zephyrs would be my pick, 100%. And I would be very happy with this because I think Infernoid might have been like my 3rd pick. So we'll see. I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm gonna cross everything. I think Tellarknights is also another one that I would like pray for too. I don't think they're likely because they just got support, but yeah. Those are my thoughts here, guys. Keep in mind, I'm not a savant on all of these archetypes. A lot of these archetypes have been super relevant for almost the entire time I've been playing the game, since like 2017. So a lot of them, like, I don't even know super well, especially the ones that are like completely irrelevant. But I've given them a scan at one point or another, for more or less. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you specifically disagree about any of these specific archetypes, let me know in the comment section down below which category they probably should have been moved to. I'd be very curious to hear where you guys land on that. And also your thoughts. What other 2 archetypes do you really want to see? What 2 types of support would you love to see for Ice Bears and Infernoids as well? Because we know those are coming. I'd love to hear how you guys want to see those get support, especially since like Infernoid could be a really interesting competitive deck going forward, because it's already probably going to get back to playability because of just the Snake Eye engine, or the Dia Bellstar Snake Eye engine, whatever you want to call it. And then we also throw on top of it that it's getting its own archetypal cards even further down the line. Very, very interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Fill me in on what you want to see from this stuff down the line. I will see you in the next video, though. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I love you guys. More videos to come soon. Peace.